Hey, Sean.
Hey, Jonathan, we are back in Halo.
You ready to go find our keys?
God damn it. God fucking damn it, Jonathan.
All right. The Covenant network is in absolute chaos.
Yeah, well, from what I've been able to piece together, their leadership ordered all ships to abandon Halo when they found the Flood, but they were too late, Jonathan.
That's crazy.
Yes, we are part 9 in our Halo Let's Play, the penultimate level, as you made a very terrible joke about at the top of this episode. It is called Keys, but it's Keys with 2 E's, so your pun sucked, because it's not that kind of key. It is just the captain of the keys. So we have to go find Captain Keys, or at least find where his CNI transponder signal, which all of us know what a CNI transponder signal is, of course.
Exactly.
Where that's emanating from on the Truth and Reconciliation, the ship we infiltrated in Level 3, that originally Captain Keys was imprisoned on. And we have to go, find his stuff so we can blow up the Halo.
This is an interesting level because you kind of go back through parts of the Truth and Reconciliation, but then you fall in and out of it, and you're in this swamp area. I've always thought this is in some ways one of the more forgettable levels in terms of gameplay, but I still like it. It's an interesting one.
Yeah. It continues the trend from, here we get a pretty messed up Flood combat form here.
He cannot fight you right now.
No head. So I'm just going to keep him along with me. I'm going to name him Billy.
Okay.
This is Billy. He's
right.
my pet, and he's my friend. And we're going to have a good time together.
Sounds good.
Anyways, what the fuck was I talking about? So it continues the trend of the last 3 levels of Halo 1, going back through in sort of an accelerated order the levels of, that you played through already. So the last level was 2 Betrayals, which is going through Assault on the Control Room backwards. And this
You killed Billy!
Well,
How could you, Sean?
He's not dead. He was never really alive.
All right.
Oh god, that was shotgun flood. That was shotgun flood.
Luckily, you were invisible, and I don't think I saw you.
No.
Well, anyway, farewell, Billy.
You're one of these. You're in this pile somewhere. I never really liked him that much.
All right, so you were saying something about
Yes.
we just did 2 Betrayals, which is Assault on the Control Room. Now we're playing Keys.
Yes, there's a Truth and Reconciliation backwards, and the Maw is the first level, the Pillar of Autumn backwards, Maw being the last level.
Analyzing damage.
But it's not just going through the levels backwards. As we saw in 2 Betrayals, you get the Banshee, and you get to see different areas of that level, and there's just this giant fucking hole right here. Don't want to go down there, obviously. That would be crazy. I mean, that's not even real space. That's some sort of like matte painting or something.
Right.
What
does that look like in the new one?
It looks like actual space.
Yes.
That's just a loading screen, so don't want to go in there. Obviously, we're going to find another pathway through this level, because that would be crazy to just jump in that hole. Fuck it, let's stop jerking this thing around. Woohoo! Geronimo! Loading screen. So now we have...
That is crazy.
Yes, we have loaded into, not a matte painting, but another area of the level. And I don't think this area down here reuses any of the geometry from the first part of Truth and Reconciliation. It's possible it does, but it's so different looking, I don't think it is.
It's possible like it's taking assets and parts that maybe were blocked off to the player, but I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, so you do... you are not just backtracking through the same levels you've already played. You are going through different areas with different enemy types.
Someone's got a shotgun.
And I'm probably going to die because I don't have any good weapons for these guys here, but made it out and get that shotgun. Somewhere in this.
I think he blew up in the other direction.
It was hard to tell. There was a lot of death, and who knows where his shotgun may have gone.
It might be easier to see in the new graphics.
Nope, there it is.
Oh, there we go.
Alright, so now we're all loaded up. So yeah, this continues the trend of we are, it is getting even sort of denser with the Covenant and Flood fighting each other in this level, because we are on the Covenant ship. So, shit has gone real bad for our old friends the Covenant at this point in the game.
Yes. And for the Marines, pretty much for everyone.
Apparently
for you right there.
Apparently I was close enough for that grenade to die. My mental calculation of the blast radius must have been off. I already know the shotgun's over here somewhere.
There you go. Get some real weapons.
Yes. But yeah, no, it is everything. Like, I kind of forgot to even mention the Marines because it has been so long since we've seen any.
Yes.
The last Marine we saw would have been in 343 Guilty Spark. Or I think there's a dead Marine body in the library that I didn't see when we were going through there. But
how the hell did he get there?
Well, if you read William C. Deitz's great literary work, Halo: The Flood, you will find all about this other Marine, who the 343 Guilty Spark sort of recruited to go through the library, but he didn't have a containment suit on, so he just kind of got fucked up immediately.
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes, that is a part of that book.
As he proceeded deeper into the library, he found a corpse, a human one. He stooped to examine the body.
Ah,
343 Guilty Spark said, peering down over the Spartan's shoulder.
the other reclaimer. His combat skin proved even less suitable than yours. I found him wandering through a structure on the other side of the ring, and brought him to the same point where you started.
The chief looked down at the body and marveled at the fact that anyone could make it that far. Even with his physical augmentation and the advantages of his armor, the Spartan was reaching the end of his endurance. He checked, found the Leatherneck's dog tags, and read the name, Mobuto, Marvin, Staff Sergeant, followed by a service number. The chief put the tags away. I didn't know you, Sarge, but I sure as hell wish I had. You must have been one hardcore son of a bitch. It wasn't much as eulogies go, but he hoped that, had Sergeant Marvin Mobuto been there to hear it, he would have approved.
I like how you almost called him Willie Dites, like he's your buddy.
Yeah, it's Bill Dites, we're good friends. I hate his fucking book. I don't know, I've only read that one book, so I don't know, he's probably done better stuff.
Well, he couldn't have done worse stuff.
Fair point.
It's the good thing about being William C. Dites is you've hit rock bottom if you've written Halo: The Flood. You're not going to make anything worse.
Now you're the one that's just being really mean. I don't feel like I was ever that mean. I just don't like his fucking book.
To be fair, he probably has made and continues to make a lot of money off that book, so...
I don't know. I would not assume that the author is getting that much money from those.
The book is still in print. That's all I'm saying. Royalties.
Sure. I'm sure he got a really great deal.
Good old Billy Dites.
Yep. Old Bill Dites. The star of this Let's Play, really.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, it's not about us. It's all about him. But I do have to stress, once again, if you're reading the Halo books, don't read that one.
Okay.
It's just unnecessary. Unless you really want to know about the Halo Marine, that guy that died in the library, that's not you. That's, that story is all told there.
All right. So here we are going through these little canyons.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on this level, Sean? I said earlier I think it's one of the more forgettable ones.
Yeah, I basically agree. I think it's... I don't have quite a particularly negative opinion on it, but it does not stand out to me as much as the Maw or Two Betrayals do, because it is a bit more kind of by the numbers. But I do remember, this level is mostly memorable to me because I was stuck on it for a weirdly long amount of time the first time I played through the game. I just remembered, for whatever reason, kind of getting caught in these canyons without a good weapon.
It can be very tough at points.
I probably just didn't find a shotgun one time. Didn't really know what to do with it. Actually, I'm not going to kill the hunters yet because it's always fun to see them get swarmed by these little guys here. And just watch, we've talked a lot about blood in this
oh god
Halo Let's Play series, but the hunter blood has not been a big sort of issue so far. Here you can just see, you let those infection forms get them, it fucks shit up.
And see, the thing is, though, I can believe the hunters would produce that much blood. They're the only enemy in the game, maybe,
yes,
who look big enough to produce that ludicrous amount of blood.
You just can't produce it by punching them.
Yes.
Actually, you can see here, surprisingly enough, there are enough blood effects layered on top of one another that it's despawning some of them. A technique not normally employed in Halo 1.
No.
God, this part is really creepy to me. You have this sort of fluid or whatever, the fuel dripping down from the Truth and Reconciliation, and just all these flood guys
so that's what
waddling
that stuff
up out
is.
of it.
I had never thought of that.
What did you think it was?
Water.
Water?
It looks like water.
Well, how does that look? What fucking water have you been drinking that it looks like fucking, just gross, fucking, blue-green shit
water
dripping from this hole in the fucking spaceship?
Huh.
Look at all this water, Jonathan. Man, look at that nice, clear, fucking, beautiful blue water, man.
It's from Flint, Michigan.
That's okay, topical.
I know.
Very topical humor.
Hey, Sean, they're still going to have lead in their pipes when this comes out.
That's true.
We could wait a year to release this one. They'd still have lead in their fucking pipes.
When you put lead in your pipes, water still wouldn't even look like this.
I don't know. Anyway, are we going to go forward with the level?
Are you looking at all these fucking things coming out of there? I don't want to jump into this shit.
Okay, we gotta finish the game.
Okay, fine.
At some point.
Oh god. Oh, it's so gross.
Alright, you're okay. You've got your suit. Your gel layer's taking it.
You know, the gel layer can only take so much bullshit, man. There's a shotgun guy around here somewhere.
The hunter blood looks like neon sherbet.
Yeah, it is definitely, it's a color.
Looks tasty.
Yeah, but you can see the hunters actually, like, got killed by the infection forms and the carrier forms. So, yeah. It's just one of those instances where if you stand around and wait a little bit, maybe you don't have to do so much. Have a fun conversation about certain people's inability to discern what different liquids are. It's just all punishment for your keys remark at the top of this episode. I know. I hope you know that this is all your fault. You're the one that got us off on the wrong foot.
Hey, if you're gonna do a Let's Play and not make puns, why do it in the first place?
You can make puns. It's just, you know, I just didn't think that one was very good.
Analyzing. Coolant leakage rate is significant. The ship's reactor should already have gone critical.
She just said analyzing coolant leakage, so I guess that's what this stuff is.
Okay, that makes more sense.
It's coolant. And it is definitely leaking.
That is very true.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to get, you know, an engineer in here at some point to look at all that shit. Because it is...
I think everyone's gonna die.
Yeah, you know, I mean, that's a really negative and pessimistic way of looking at things. I think, you know, you get this, you know, a bit of duct tape here and there. You get a bucket and pull some of this stuff back up in that engine. You can get off this thing.
Is that a subplot in William C. Deitz's Halo the Flood of the grunt engineer who goes in and tapes up the
Yip
leak?
Yap or whatever the fuck the grunt... I think that might not be as far away as it sounds of what that fucker's name is. But yeah, the grunt who's the star of the subplot of William C. Deitz, Billy Deitz's Halo the Flood. That's actually not. I don't want to misrepresent his novel. That's not. He's a Yip Yap or whatever the fuck his name is a Special Forces grunt who we will show up in the next level. I'll point out where he is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yip Yap.
Jonathan, you should get on your phone.
Okay.
I want you to look up what the name of him is because I really don't think I'm far off.
I'm gonna go to the Wikipedia page for Halo the Flood.
Oh god, yeah. If you want to go to a special Halo Wikia, I think you'll find a lot of stuff there.
Yes.
But here you can also see, I've got this sniper rifle. Don't know why I picked up the sniper rifle, because the sniper rifle is basically completely useless against the Flood enemies in Halo 1. I've never really understood the logic of why. I feel like it should probably be able to sort of blow them apart, because they're just, like, gross organic guys, but I guess the logic maybe is that, like, it passes through them so quickly that it isn't blowing them to pieces. That's not really how physics works, but whatever. The sniper rifle, don't want to use it against the Flood enemies. You definitely want to get a pistol or a shotgun for them. Because it even really doesn't affect the carrier forms much. How's your short search coming along, Jonathan?
I'm finding a lot of interesting stuff. I have not found the name of the grunt yet.
Okay.
But here, I'm going to read a part for us here.
Okay, go ahead.
From the Wikipedia page. Responding to criticism about the book, including his interpretation of the Chief, author William C. Deitz replied,
yes.
Of the book reviews that I have read, the negative ones often say something to the effect that the book is just like the game, so why read it? What those readers may not realize is that I was hired to novelize the game. That means taking the game and turning it into a book, or put another way, I did what I was hired to do. There must be some folks who feel that I wrote the Chief out of character. That's news to me. All I can tell you is that the Bungie folks who care deeply about the character and the universe never raised that issue, and approved the book as written. However, there's no doubt that every author is different and will approach characters differently. So if Nyland's rendition of the Chief is different from my own in subtle ways, that would be understandable. So, that's his official response to the negative reaction. I also feel a little bad because William C. Deitz used his actual military experience in writing the book. So, I'm shitting on a military veteran.
I mean, that doesn't make his book good.
No, it doesn't. Alright, I'm still looking for the name of the grunt. Let's go to the Halo Wikia here.
Okay, yes, that's where you want to
While
be.
you play the game.
Yes. You can see there's this nice hint of battles fought and battles lost here. I like these details of, like, the Banshee. That is actually, you should be able to get into this Banshee because it's not the destroyed model. They just don't let you. This poor elite who suffered an ignominious fate at the hands of the Flood here. We have to fight our way up to this gravity lift like we did halfway through Truth and Reconciliation to get back on this ship. And there should be some flood enemies spawning. Okay, there we go. I guess I took them all out.
All right, back into the ship.
Back into the ship, back with the bright neon purple loading screen. And this room might be familiar to us.
Yap was a very intelligent...
Yes! I was so close! I was so close! That's some fucking 8th grade shit, man. I still remember that. Oh my god.
Yap was a very intelligent Ungoy, which is the name for grunt. Ungoy,
that's the grunt.
Who lived during the 9th Age of Reclamation. He distinguished himself during the Battle of Installation 4.
Yes, Installation 04, which is what we are on.
Yap was born on the methane-filled Ungoy homeworld Balaho, to which he continually dreamed of returning. Before serving in the Fleet of Particular Justice, Yap lived in the lower districts of High Charity, where he served the Sangheli as a sentry. In the 9th Age of Reclamation, Yap was an Ugoy major assigned to a sleepy Ungoy unit in the Fleet of Particular Justice, commanding others of his race, including his friend Gaga.
I didn't remember Gaga.
There is a lot on the Wikipedia page for Yap. I just want to say.
Halo is like Star Wars in a number of different ways. One of them is every single ancillary character has like 5,000 words written about them in some wiki somewhere.
So, not quite Yip Yap, but close enough.
Yes, Yap, that's... There we go. God damn, there's a lot of these carrier forms in this little hallway. So you can see they've... one sort of thing they've done in this version of the level is they have busted open a bunch of these ceiling panels, and there are going to be a lot of assholes dropping down through them.
Yes.
Like so. Yeah, actually, I'm going to go back to the... well, no, there's a better example of it for up ahead. But there are these collections of different Covenant bodies. And it's another one of like the little details you see about the Flood are definitely winning these fights.
Yes.
So you can see in here, they are amassing biomass in the corners of these rooms.
Flood are gathering bodies here.
As Cortana put for us. And it's just, you get the sense of, at this is kind of the point in the game where the Covenant are really losing that fight, and they're not really on even terms with the Flood in the way they were in the last level. Because in the last level, the Covenant tend to win each of the fights that they have with the Flood. In this level, they've kind of already lost most of those fights.
Yeah, the Covenant are losing very badly.
Yes.
Their ship is pretty fucked up.
Yeah. Even Yap could not save them.
That I did not finish reading Halo the Flood back in the day. I remember getting to the chapters about Yap, and that's when I had to like tap out.
Those are the best parts of the book. Like, I'm not even kidding when I say that.
That's just relatively speaking, though.
Well, yes. I'm just saying, if that's the part where you're tapping out, like, you know, you should... I think the part where I realized how bad it was, but I was so curious to keep on going, was probably around the time that was Assault on the Control Room. And if you think it can be sometimes a little bit tedious playing Assault on the Control Room, that you're going through the same rooms, imagine reading a book where someone's fucking describing people going through the same rooms over and over again.
Not fun.
Yeah, I understand and can respect the argument he makes about that is the job he was hired to do. I'm just saying that, you know, novels and video games are two very different things.
Oh, very different things. It's just like, I think with the Yap things, it's like, okay, this is the most significant piece of new content we have in this thing, and it's horrible. I cannot get through this book.
Okay.
That's, I think, was my breaking point.
I can see that.
If my reward for getting through the lazy recreations of the game is Yap and friends, I can't do it.
He's, you know, he's cool. He's a cool little Ungoy, man. Why you gotta get up on his shit?
I read so many nonsense words in that one paragraph I just read.
It's the Halo lore is it's a thing.
Yep.
You gotta get that weird alien bullshit, man. Here, so here you can see all these weird little bodies that they're piling up in the corners.
Oh boy, that's a lot of them.
Yes, you definitely are inundated with Flood quite thoroughly in this level. It's a little bit back to that kind of library thing of the Flood, whereas in Two Betrayals, the Flood are a little bit more of an afterthought in that level.
Yes. Because you're still on like Covenant space, and now you're in Covenant space, but it's been very overrun.
Yes, it has. It's just not been going well for them.
No.
This is the door. I think this actually leads back up into that room where the Invisible Elites come in in Truth and Reconciliation. So this is the room, and if you want to go back to episode 3 where I talk about you go through and you can have elite or Marines that survive and join the fight with you, I'm pretty sure that's where they do it.
Yes.
Almost never happens, but it can.
You also cannot get in those ghosts.
No, unfortunately.
I think that would break the physics of the game in a couple different ways.
Yeah.
In these little corridors.
This is also a level where it's very easy to get lost. I'm not 100%. I don't think this is the right way to go. But enemies respawn so frequently in, like, kind of behind you. It is very hard to tell
I think
where you have
to go back to that room you were in, and there's a different exit.
There's probably another door.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to switch to the new graphics because it should hopefully be a little bit more clear. So you have these nice doors that I really like, personally, that have these very clear green and red lights on them.
I think you have to go down that way.
Yes.
That's this little, like, yipping music in the background.
Yes, it's the same sort of theme that is playing in the first part of 343 Guilty Spark, where you have this weird... There it sounds like animals. I guess it doesn't even really make sense how, like, diegetically it would be appearing in this space, but it's definitely unsettling. It gives you that sense of, like, we are in Flood territory now.
Yes.
This is not the Covenant's game anymore.
Alright, drop down another hole.
Yes, and get ambushed by a bunch of carrier forms, one of which actually got me, but I should be fine. There's a lot of nice fire here. Get some of the more of those fire effects.
What does that look like in the new version?
Pillar of Autumn. It probably looks like fire. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely got that sort of Halo 3 brightness to it, but...
Fire and water being things that advance pretty rapidly in graphics. It's interesting to compare.
It's less of like a GIF in the way it looks here, and it looks more like actual particle effects.
Yeah.
Dope.
This method of remastering they did here, where they basically put a new coat of paint on the original engine, and you can switch between, it's something I like. That's been more of a trend in recent years.
Yes.
Didn't Blizzard do that with StarCraft recently, or it's
that's basically what it is with the StarCraft remastered. I'm not sure if it's out yet. It'll be out by the time this video comes out, though.
Yeah. There was this indie game that's on Switch, and I think it's on PS4. Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap.
Yeah.
That did a similar thing with an old Genesis game. No, not a Genesis game, a Mega Drive game.
Yes.
And that's a really cool thing they did with that too. I think it's a fun way to do these remasters.
Yeah, it's definitely, although there are some instances like that, the Crash Bandicoot remaster that came out recently, they were not able to do that for that game. Jesus Christ, there's so many Flood here. Because the source code for that was originally lost. So they had to painstakingly recreate the game the best they could.
Well, good on them for that.
Yeah.
I have not played that yet. that would be fun. But
yeah. But it's definitely, remasters are a big thing in games right now, which some people, I think it's easy to sort of like kind of poo-poo that stuff because it's like, oh, why don't you just make new games? I also like the opportunity to be able to go back to some of these games, especially something like Crash Bandicoot, which I never owned a PS1 but played at a friend's house.
Yeah. And I think it depends on the game. They're not, I don't know, they're not remastering Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets for PlayStation 2.
Not yet.
Right? One day maybe. But like, they're taking some pretty good games and doing these days, and I like it.
In pain, we have to find
If we're not going to have backwards compatibility as a thing on some consoles, which to the Xbox's credit is a huge part of the Xbox now, then it's a good thing to have.
Yeah, even beyond just like backwards compatibility, like there are just some things like where kind of like the way that a lot of people do not like to watch black and white movies, there are going to be people that don't like to play games that look like this. And if you could just put a nice coat of paint on it that doesn't, and especially allow people to still be able to experience the original version, I think there's a lot of value in that.
Yes.
This is where, this is where the game starts getting a lot more difficult. Like, you just have a lot of enemies coming at you all the time.
Yep.
This is also, I believe, the level, they're not quite here yet, but where you get some of the Special Forces Covenant that have black armor.
Right.
Which is, Yap-Yap's going to have that when we eventually meet up with him. Are there infinite enemies that come through this?
There might be. You might just want to go for it.
Just gonna run, whether there are infinite enemies or not. Let them fight their fight against the Flood.
Yes.
I don't need to get involved.
They're gonna lose.
Yes. This time I'll let them finish the fight.
There you go. Yep. I don't know if that was an appreciably better or worse pun than...
I don't even know if that really even counts as a pun.
It's wordplay.
Sure, yes. It's vague wordplay.
If you don't know what that's a reference to, I'm a little surprised you've made it this far in the Let's Play series. But thank you for watching.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We'll talk about that a lot more if we ever do one of these on Halo 3.
Oh, I'd love to at some point get through the other Halo games. Not immediately, but...
Yes, that would be... It would be like 50 episodes of just Halo. It'd be a bit much for starting off this series we're doing.
We're going to play some other games, but I've enjoyed playing Halo so far. Well, I'm not playing anything. But
I have definitely enjoyed playing Halo. That's something we haven't really talked about a lot. But this game is so much fun to play.
It's so much fun to play. And you know what? It's fun to watch. I will say that.
Yeah.
Like, it is... I've been sitting here watching you play it, and we're talking and stuff, but I enjoy it's such a good game. I even enjoy just watching it. And I think that makes it a good one for us to start this series off with. But yeah, this is such a good game.
It's just, I've played this game so many times, and it's still, like when that carrier flood fell right in front of me when I was hiding behind this box, I still freaked out inside. Like, it still stressed me out. It still, like, made me excited. I think this game, it is just really remarkably well designed as a first-person shooter campaign, and just the combat and the enemies and all this stuff is so good. And look at all these bodies I piled up.
Boy.
Look at my work. It's just satisfying.
Well, we should say, like, this is actually some of what this came out of is we had a conversation on our podcast, the Weekly Stuff podcast, earlier this year where we kind of asked the question very casually, like, what are the best games? Like, what do we consider, like, our own personal little canon of, like, what's 5 games you think are the best ever made? And Halo Combat Evolved was on, but, well, it was on mine, and I think you might have picked Halo 3, but we did mention Halo, and for me, that's always in kind of an eternal top 5 for me, is this campaign.
Yeah.
So we hold it in high regard.
Absolutely. I mean, that's why we're doing this.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot to talk about with this game.
There's a lot of deaths, too.
There's lots of deaths.
Oh, that's a nice respawn.
Yeah, that made me happy.
Gives you a little confidence boost.
Yes.
Like, you look at all these people you killed. You can do it.
I can kill a lot more. Let's just, the Flood are not the only people that can pile up bodies. I'll say that much. Yeah, because here you get just more of these weird ceiling panels.
Yep.
Bad shit's going down.
His vitals are fading. Please, Chief, hurry.
Those explosions.
Sean Keyes' vitals are fading. You gotta hurry.
Okay.
I hope we can save him.
Oh, I think we will. He should be fine. He's a hardy, sort of sturdy kind of guy. God damn. Those, the Flood melees definitely take out a lot of health. We re-checkpointed. So I'm just gonna try to rush through this. Get through these guys.
Please, Chief, hurry.
No,
there's
a health pack right there.
Yeah.
That's what we're going for. That's
right.
the new strategy.
The captain.
Blow these guys
His
up.
vitals are fading. Please, Chief, hurry.
The explosion physics are so great.
There is, well, oh, okay.
No,
okay.
right. Messed it up.
Okay, I'm gonna have to try to take out that carrier form first. That's the real strategy here. But anyways, there's something really satisfying about, as much as I love the ragdoll stuff that Halo goes to and most games do, there's something very satisfying about the more sort of like hand-done sort of animations of them falling, even if it's the same way every single time. It just, there's a personal quality to it that I like, and there's a legibility to the way that enemies die in this game, or that like bodies fly through explosions. That's very satisfying.
Yes.
Oh man.
You want me to try?
No, because you'd have to change it from inverted and go back to your disgusting way of playing these games, and I can't tolerate that.
His vitals are fading. Please, Chief, hurry.
So I think I'm just gonna have to be a bit more cautious and stay back a bit.
All right.
Wish I had a human pistol. It'd be a lot more effective against the Flood here, because, just the sniper rifle, they just decided for whatever reason, does nothing to the Flood. It's just like trying to give them a paper cut.
Yeah.
Utterly pointless. As you can see.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just like those weird ways that the Flood bodies roll when they fall, when they're jumping at you and stuff. Those little animations are just etched into my subconscious,
Yep.
I've played this game so much. Pick up this human pistol that was over here, and we can be on our merry way. Sometimes you just have to be patient.
While killing lots and lots and lots of enemies.
Patience is a virtue, and if you're the Master Chief, so is murder. It's just how it works.
Murder is a virtue.
If you're the Master Chief,
It's true. It's true.
because he's not going to murder the wrong guy. That's all I'm saying. He's a Master Chief. You can trust him.
You've killed at least, like, 3 Marines in this playthrough.
I mean, how many would you have killed if this was your playthrough?
More, but I don't have any of these high-flying morals.
Oh, well, this is a weird thing. Oh, what is this?
What's gonna happen here?
This is just a really gross... Is this like what, you know... What happens when a flood just, like, eats a big lunch?
Yeah.
It's just like this ends up in the room. And just let's check it out. Morbid curiosity, I suppose.
Human life signs detected. The captain, he's one of them.
What?
Oh. That's not good.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. That's... You don't want that.
You know what he'd expect.
What he'd want us to do.
What he'd want us to do.
I like that little nod
Yeah.
Chief gives.
He'd want us to just fuck him up.
Just punch his face out.
Just no face anymore.
It's done. I have the code. We should...
Yeah.
That's a sad scene.
We need to get back to
Poor
the Pillar
Keys.
of Honor.
Let's see that in
Go
the new
back to the
graphics
shuttle
here.
bay and find a ride.
A
Yeah.
little more.
Yeah, you
can
get more of
really
that
see
sense
him.
of, like, the human in there with his hands. Here it's... Because I remember the first time I played the game, it took me a while to sort of, like, really see that there was a person in there.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, we're back in this room again.
You know, that's a moment we might be desensitized to now, having seen it dozens of times, but that's a sad scene.
Yeah.
Poor Keys.
Poor Captain Keys.
We're never gonna get our keys back.
You want your fucking keys back, you can play Halo Reach, you piece of shit. He's in that game, too.
He is. I love that game.
Or, you know, we get a new... sort of new fancy-pantsy kind of set of keys in the next game also.
We lose those keys later, though.
Yeah. But, you know, sometimes you just have to move on from keys in the first place. Just
Yes.
like, you know, all digital future, that's what I'm talking about. Behind the times. It's 2552, man. Move on.
I've really lost the thread of this pun-based conversation at this point.
That's why you shouldn't be making puns if you can't keep up.
I just want a Halo spin-off game about the Keys military dynasty. And we, like,
Right.
we have a campaign with, like, Captain Keyes' grandfather, and, like, maybe Miranda Keyes had a kid we didn't know about. Keep that going.
Sure.
Why not?
I'm desperately trying to think of a good key pun. Unfortunately, there aren't any. So, let's just move on from that conversation. Yeah.
There can be a romance section of the game called
Don't
Keys
stop,
to Your
no,
Heart.
stop, just fucking stop. Stop whatever you're talking about. We're done with this conversation. We're moving on. Oh, Jesus Christ, I totally forgot. I legitimately forgot. Oh, God. Yeah, so this is where the Special Forces Covenant come back in, or come in for the first time, and gun you down because you forgot that they were going to ambush you there.
We need to get back to the Pillar of Honor. Let's go back to the shuttle
I think
bay
I
and
distracted
find a
you with
ride.
my puns.
Yeah, your clever wordplay. But that's the good thing about being an effective immortal, is that you just get to try things again, and now you know that they're there.
Yes.
Let the flood take care of them. Just sit
God,
there
there's
for
a
now.
lot of enemies flooding into this room. That was not intentional.
You said it like it was intentional. Don't fucking pull this shit when you said it. They're flooding into this room. Don't do this. Don't try to fucking back this train up.
This Let's Play is really breaking down down the home
Yeah.
stretch.
Oh my god.
Christ.
Holy shit. Man.
See what I mean? This game is just fun to watch.
Yeah, there's just shit
Look
goes
at all
down in
this.
this game. Yeah, so
Look
you
at this
see,
mayhem.
but it's one of the nice things about this game is there are lots of ways to solve your problems. You can either choose to fight the Flood and the Covenant at the same time, or you just open up this door and let hell rain down on these pieces of shit. I don't even know what happened to them. They're just all gone. That grunt scream was pretty good there.
Yep.
Right, okay, now I'm remembering the end of this level. Jesus fucking Christ, this is just chaos. There's so much shit exploding. But yes, now we need to go get off the ship, and there are some banshees in this hangar that we can do it. Used to do it. And more special forces, Covenant in here. So these are the grunts that have the fuel rod cannon that blow up when they die.
Nice.
And there are lots of ways to handle getting these banshees that we're coming upon soon. That's also a sort of a convenient way to try to skip portions of the level that I think I'm just going to go ahead and do because it's the way I do it all the time. And it's very fun and action movie kind of thing to do. And you die most of the time. We'll try it out. So there's the banshees coming in.
at that. Elite.
Yeah. Hold me down with this pistol.
Nice.
Still alive. Come on, there you go.
There we go.
Grab one of the escort banshees and we'll use it to
Just have to wait a second for that dropship to leave, and we're going to try to jump down and grab it instead of going through all the appropriate doors. Which
Sounds good to me.
Don't have full health, so I might not make it with the fall damage, but we'll see.
You honestly never know with the physics
Yes.
of this one, because they can be a little...
Okay.
There you go.
I would just jump down there because it would be cool, but I'm pretty sure I would just die on impact.
I think you could get there. If you hit one of the banshees. There. Told you.
Oh, come on, get in. There we go.
All right.
There we
did
go.
It.
That is, we found our lost keys, we picked them up, put them in our pocket, and now let's go unlock the door to hell, Jonathan.
All right. One episode left. We're going to go to the Maw.
Yeah. The Maw.